Many years ago, I bought a pile of xs650 parts off of someone who had been planning on building a chopper. I had two engines, one of which was seized. I've got that one completely apart now. And I had two frames and miscellaneous bits and pieces. One frame was completely mangled. I don't have any video of that frame because I bought all this stuff before I even had video cameras. But someone had taken these axle plates and welded in a spacer and then mitered the back of an xs650 frame, butt welded these axle plates onto the other frame with miscellaneous scraps of metal holding the front of the bike to this. So it was a mess. It was absolutely horrific. I had to tear everything down on that bike and start from scratch, basically. But it turned into a finished bike. This is it now. It runs. Obviously not without the tank on it. Needs the battery put back in, the tank put on in the seat, and then it would start right up. But I had to go back so far as up here to get all the ruined metal off of the bike. They just destroyed the frame. It was crazy, but I put in the time and put in the work and got a running bike out of the deal. I don't have, like I said, I don't have video of the process. I've got a few pictures of what it looked like through different stages, and I'll put those up in the video here. You can see the welding and the jig I made for all of that. But this is my first xs650 chopper, my first chopper build ever. And the thing that's kind of bugged me is that the serial number on this frame matches the serial number of the seized engine. So I thought I could take this engine apart. I was hoping it was just the top end was seized, and I could put a 750 kit on it and throw the matching number engine into the frame and have a 750 instead of the 650. That's what I was hoping. Unfortunately, the whole process was a lot more involved than I had anticipated. I had to bust off the top of the piston. It was so badly seized. I had to break it open and use an angle grinder to cut the connecting rod. And this is fairly sticky, obviously. It's all rusted. There's your transmission. That took a bit of work to get all that stuff out too. I even had to grind out one of the shifter forks to be able to get the whole transmission assembly out. And I've got some pictures of what the bottom of the engine looked like. It wasn't pretty. So basically, that engine is completely ruined. There's nothing savable in it. And that brings us to now. I've got more xs650 parts. I've got this engine, which isn't seized, and I was thinking I could tear all the guts out of this and put it in here, and I could have my matching numbers. And until just a couple days ago, I was still thinking about the 750 kit. And now I'm not sure, because what's really the point of putting the 750 kit in if I need all of the internals from the bottom end as well? I might as well just scrap this entire engine, throw everything into here, and be done with it. Or I could just give up on the idea of matching numbers, which is what the smart person would do. A smart person would not bother with any of this. It is such a waste of energy. But the problem is I've got a lot of time right now since I can't work. We're all having to isolate, and tattoo shops, unfortunately, are one of those things that are forbidden right now. So in the meantime, I've got to find something to do. Now this is the other frame I got in that deal, and I suppose you can tell that instead of working on an engine I could be chopping firewood right now, but I'd really rather work on motorcycles. I'm personally not happy with this. The welds are hideous and probably won't hold very well. It's a very shoddy job. It's ugly, it's heavy, I'd never liked it, so that's why I never used this frame for anything. That's why I went straight to the completely mangled frame and started almost essentially from scratch with it. The problem is that the serial number on this frame matches the serial number of the engine that's in the bike right now. And the engine that I've got on the bench right now, that I was going to use as a donor, actually matches this frame. So the idea of getting everything put together, or the idea of tearing everything apart so that I could have matching numbers on one bike, is really starting to seem a little bit silly now that I've got a bunch of matching numbers, just not with that seized engine. I did shoot some video of me getting this bike, or this engine, to this point here, and then I realized that I could not find, I thought I had it, but I couldn't find a stator puller. So I had to order one of those, and it actually showed up today. So now my project is not impossible anymore. It's just a matter of how ill-advised is it. So, what do you think I should do? Should I strip down this engine and throw all the parts into this set of cases so that it matches the chopper I've already got? And if I do that, should I put in the 750 kit or just keep it as a 650? It's a lot of money for a 750 kit, but at least then I've got cases, cylinder, pistons that all match or all work, and I'm not sitting around with an engine that doesn't have a cylinder, even though if I strip everything out of here, it goes in there. I've got no bottom end for this bike, but at least I've got the top end still. So, what do you think I should do?